We'll get to you. Trust me, we will get to you. And when we do... But, before I show you this atrocity, I decided in the meantime to review the Persona games in the order they come out. Because, you know, this game is the perfect example of everything that does not work in a Persona game. While Persona 3 and 4 are examples of everything that works well in a Persona game. So I thought, you know, before I review this, I should review Persona 1 for the PSP. Now, this game is a remake for Revelations Persona for the PS1, I believe in 1996, could be wrong. Now, the original one, I will say this, the soundtrack for that game is excellent. It's unfortunate that it's not in this game because they remixed it. Now, the remix soundtrack it's good, okay? It's good, lots of English by Shoji Meguro. Of course it's going to be good. But the original, it was just so much better. Like, for example, the final boss theme in... I'll have to link the two final boss themes. The final boss theme in the PS1 version, it's very creepy. It's very scary. I remember this comment said, and I totally agree with this comment, said, this is how the PS1 version of the final boss theme says. Okay, guys, let's fight this thing. Well, the PSP version says, okay, guys, come on, let's do this. We can do this. That's fine. It's just that when you look at the final boss, I'll link a picture to it in the description. It's one of the creepiest things I've seen in my life. Ugh. Anyway, getting back to it. This game is very tragic to me. It was so close to being a very good game because, believe it or not, I really, really, really wanted to like this game. Like, okay, I didn't hate this game. In fact, I still don't hate it. I like everything about this game except for the combat and maybe the dungeons. The combat, okay. I'm going to be drawing a lot of comparisons between Persona 3 and 4 and Persona 1 and 2 in this because I kind of have to, just to show you what could go, what works and what doesn't. In this game, there are, I believe, 17 different attack elements. I believe that. Do you really need that many? Okay, in Pokemon, there's about 17 different types, but in that game, you can usually tell what type the opponent enemy is, and it's critical to beating the battle. Same thing in Persona 3 and 4, only except there's only about... Well, in Persona 3 there's 9 different attack types, and in Persona 4 there is 7 different attack types. And even then, in Persona 3 and 4, it is very beneficial for you to attack the enemy with its weakness. Because you get an extra turn, they get down, you can do an all-out attack. Good stuff. But in Persona 1 and 2, there's really no incentive to hitting the enemy with its weakness aside from extra damage. In fact, I barely used the Velvet Room. I believe I only got 2 Personas throughout the entire game from the Velvet Room. And in Persona 1, every single character can hold 3 Personas at the same time, and yeah, it's not like Persona 1, I mean, it is like Persona 1. It's not like Persona 3 or 4 where your teammates all have preset personas and you can have like 10 at the same time. It's not like that. Anyway, also the combat. It's very slow. It's not very entertaining. And you can negotiate with the enemies in this game, which I thought was very interesting. Was it done well? No. It was very slow, it was very repetitive, and more often than not, you ended up pissing off the demon than getting it to help you out. There are 4 different emotions that you can get the demon to be. Afraid, which causes them to flee a battle or for their stats to decrease. Then they have anger, which just pisses them off and makes them more powerful. You have them happy, which they will give you items or money. And then eager. If you get them eager, they will give you their card, which can be used in the Velvet Room to fuse personas. And it's way better in Persona 3 and 4, the way you get personas. It's just so much better. Shuffle time. If they remade this game with shuffle time in Persona 3's battle system, everything would be fine. This would be a great game. But there's so many critical flaws at critical points in the game. And I don't mean storytelling, like in my last review, how I just complained about the storytelling. The story in this game is very good. It is unique. I love the atmosphere in this game. Basically, you go visit your friend in the hospital who's been sick for a majority of her life or something like that. And then basically it turns into a maze. Like the earthquake happens, then the hospital becomes a maze. And then it turns out you're fighting zombies apparently. Okay, I'm in. And then you come out, and then the town's been completely changed. Like there's no police station, no hospital. It's crazy. Interesting design. I like it. I like the art. I like the music. I like the story. But how do I put this? Okay, getting on to the equips. Your equipment in this game, you cannot buy physical weapons in any store. You have to find them. And there's only about 4 or 5 different equipped weapons for each character. So, and I don't know which enemies drop which items. So if you're going to search for the really good equips, like the 4th or 5th one with the most attack, you're going to be searching around a lot. And it'll get tired very quickly. Because the enemy encounter rate in this game is incredibly high. Way more than it needs to be. Now, I don't mind a good challenge. I hate an annoying challenge. There's a difference. Trust me. What you will be using most of the game is guns. And the guns are actually far more useful than any of the personas. Yeah, I mean, I just spam the bullets, really. And if that doesn't work, I just nuke the enemies with nuclear ability. Which I don't think would be a good idea to stand within 20... I don't think it's a good idea to stand within 10 miles of a nuclear blast, let alone 10 feet. It's pretty funny, actually. Anyway. What else? Oh, there are different characters you can accompany. There's Brown. Then you have who I use. He's the first character you get. Very useful. His attack range is huge. Then you have Ayase. Never used her. She looks annoying. You have Ellie, who's... I guess is okay. Then you have Reggie, who's very powerful, but he doesn't have much of a range. Oh, that reminds me about the range. You have like this plane where you set your team up for every single battle, and then each weapon has like different range. So the bow, it can hit anywhere, but it's random. Or the gun, it will only hit enemies in this way. So if they're in this or this area, it won't hit them. And this is actually a huge gameplay flaw. Experience isn't given equally amongst party members. It's given to the party member that contributes most to the battle. So that means the fast and powerful characters will level up a lot, and that means the slow characters, like Mark, which I do like as a character, will get screwed over and end up 10 levels behind everybody else by the end of the game. Okay, interesting design to give XP proportion to battle, but when you just blow through enemies with 2 attacks, it screws over the other characters. I mean, it really does. It's just so... it's not a good system. It's not. There's 3 different difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. I picked normal. As far as Persona games go, this is... It has decent difficulty. I don't mind it. It's like not, it's not, I'm going to tear my eyeballs out hard. It's not Persona 2 easy. And I will get to that, trust me. It's standard. It's a very standard game in most regards. I remember there's something else I was going to say. Damn. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Another thing I don't like about Persona 1 and 2 is that there's not much role-playing in that regard. Which means... well, in my terms of role-playing, you don't make a lot of decisions. Now, in this game, you do make decisions which you do think would affect the plot. And I didn't know this, but they actually do. At least in one area. Like, when you're escaping the hospital, there's a nurse who's, like, trapped under a vending machine. I don't know. And then you have the option to either save her or leave her behind and save everybody else. There's no outcome. You really don't get penalized save for an extra battle, which, let's be honest, isn't that hard at this point in the game. It really isn't. And then, yeah, it doesn't affect. And then you have a scientist who's like, okay, well, that makes sense. There's like a company who created this like interdimensional gate with a machine, and to stop the boss, the scientist he like jams the machine by tossing himself in it, and then you have the option to either activate it, which would theoretically stop the machine, which would kill him in the process, or you can save his life. I think he dies. I'm not sure whether he dies either way or he lives. Yeah, no, he lives either way. He lives either way. Why make the character make that decision then? Okay, I'm asking this now because the decisions do actually count later. And I'll get to that. Another decision is... I don't know, it's like minor decisions throughout, but here's what I was getting to. Later in the game when you... Because you find out your friend, like this town is... Well, basically the machine, it didn't create another dimension. It basically created another world based off the soul. Like the ideal world inside the soul of one of your teammates, and that's what happens. I should have given you a spoiler territory warning, but... Come on, it's kind of a 18-year-old game, I think. Yeah, 18-year-old game. My bad. But... So when you go there to like find her other selves or something like that, you find yourself playing an arcade game, which is actually a kind of funny sight. And then he will basically take you through all the decisions that you made. And if you made most of the good decisions, he will give you a Rosetta Stone and 2 other items. Now, those items can be used to create the ultimate persona, which I never used, embarrassingly enough. Because at 20 hours in, I just wanted to be like, okay, come on, let's just finish this game. It's annoying me. I want to play... What else? What else did I have to... I wanted to replay it... No, I want to play Chrono Cross at that time. I wanted to play Chrono Cross. Which was very well worth it, trust me. I'll review Chrono Cross someday too, because that game is amazing. So, the decisions really have no impact, save for that. But there is one point where the decision... I'm sorry guys, I can't talk today. I don't even know why I made this video. Where you basically the bad guy of the game, before your friend's other self becomes the bad guy, he basically asks you questions like, why are you fighting for? What are you, like, why are you fighting me? What are you fighting for? What is your purpose in life? And if you give the wrong answer, like, I don't know or I don't care, then your friend, she's kind of emotionally unstable at this point. And then if you pick the wrong answers, she'll basically run off when you get back. And then there's like, okay, they have CGI cutscenes, which are actually decent for PSP standards, where it shows the signature Persona butterfly flying into a hospital room. And then it will just lay on the bed, and then like a message will be like, you know, I'll just link the ending in the description, and lots of links I know, where it basically hints that your friend either died or committed suicide. Now, that's... Okay, as dark as that is, I like that ending. That ending is... It really makes you feel like a... It makes you feel like a bastard, I mean... Yeah, basically, the way you keep your friend alive and get the good ending is not be a bastard. Like, be a good guy. But when I saw that ending, I got chills. I mean... Ugh, creepy. Oh yeah, another thing that annoyed the heck out of me. The map system, I kind of wish there was an arrow telling you where to go, because you get lost way too easily in this game. You even get lost inside your own school, even though it's not even a maze. Throughout the game, you have to find the principal's office, which I took 20 minutes searching every single room. And then you have to find a certain classroom where a student is, which it took another 20 minutes searching through the entire school. And then I have to find the library to enter the final area, which again took me 20 minutes searching every single room. It would have been really nice if they had a directory to guide you where to go. It also took me 20 minutes to find the hospital to visit your friend in the beginning of the game. In fact, that's what made my same friend, who also rage quitted Star Ocean 4, rage quit this game, because I don't know, she just seems to have trouble with really simple things in video games. Like, she's not a bad gamer by any means. She's pretty good. And granted, nowhere good as me, but she's still pretty good. So, and like the dungeons, it's first person, which I thought was okay in this game, but it's nowhere near as good as the dungeon crawling in Persona 3 or Persona 4. Again, getting back to those games, they show what is good in game, a Persona game at least, and what Does not work in a Persona game. In conclusion, I really, really wanted to like this game. I really did. I like the story, I like the art, I did like the music, but at the end of the day, wow, me speak good English, right? At the end of the day, if the game itself isn't fun, it's not a good game. Because at the end of the day, it's a video game, not a video game movie. Now, if they release, again, like I said before, this is not a game beyond repair. Like this piece of crap. This game can be very easily repaired and re-released if they just change the persona, the way you get personas, the way the battle works, and the way you buy stuff to Persona 3. And if they add some social links between your party members, like they did in Persona 3 and 4, this game would be far, far better. Oh, another thing. They also have a Snow Queen quest. It's an additional quest that happens after the main story. It's good. It's decent enough in my opinion. You may not like it, but it's decent. It was excluded from the original American release, so excuse me. I'm a very burp there. So, yeah, I can't recommend this game. It's very boring. It started off okay at first, but it's very boring. Battle system's not good. I know I'm repeating myself. So, in conclusion, don't buy this game. It's really tragic. Don't buy this game. I wish I could tell you to buy this game. Don't buy it. And now, on to you. I'm gonna get into this piece of crap in the next video, and when I do, you guys are gonna have a freaking field day. Alright? This is Torchicguy signing off. Later.